I'm curious, like, take it outside of the context of web scraping for a little bit. Are there like standards across data quality and Q&A that are, that come into it, or is it really just by, like a project by project basis? Is there anything you can borrow from other industries that they do really well that have crossed over?
That's quite an interesting topic because you can, well, that's all data, and usually we work on a product, right? So that concept of quality is quite abstract. So something that you can apply to each and every product. And there are detection techniques and principles and standards that really carry over all the industries. For instance, we use exactly the same practices as the car manufacturers, for instance, right? Because why not? It works there. It works with our data. So for instance, how do you know that your data set is perfect? So how many records do you need to inspect so that you can say with, well, utmost certainty that is perfect? So there is no mathematical rule for that, because in maths you would go with, there is actually no finite value. You actually need to inspect the entire data set, however big that is. Yeah, but for instance, in car manufacturing, so how do you know that the batch of the cars is all right? It's in a good condition. So you do inspect 60 cars, and if you find 0 faults, that means that for in practical terms, most likely it's good enough, right? So we also employ those kinds of techniques in inspection of data because it works really similar. Or for instance, some of the techniques that we use, for instance, I experimented with some techniques for inspecting coverage. So do we actually download enough data from a website, and how much data there is? And what I took that from, it was pure biology. So, if you, for instance, if you want to count how big the herds are, right? So there are those catch and release techniques that are employed there. So you catch a subset of a herd, you mark them, and then after some time on the same territory, you need to make another hunt for the specimens, and you check how many of the specimens that you caught already have the mark. And we did the same things with the records on the website, just knowing that that's an ID that we have already seen. And it turns out that that's also a technique that can be used for checking the coverage.